Well, it's a beautiful Michigan day. Good morning, guys. Welcome to a new video. Today's video is going to be bouncing around a little bit, I think. We're going to start out by cleaning out some front area of this shop here. Was thinking about taking that to the auction, but we're just going to put it back in the barn. Move this trailer out of the way. Move that chicken coop. I got a few barrels of oil I'll push up against the barn. Pull the disc up here and unfold it. Got a few things we got to do to that before it is ready, but other than the planter and the drill, the disc is the last piece of equipment we need to go through. So let's go get it pulled up. There is the disc. Here's my area to park. Now this disc has a whole downforce system with the wings that we don't run. I just want to make sure the wings are unlocked, which it looks like they are. When we're in the field, this disc on it, it says to run your fold remote in the unfold position constantly when you're running. We don't like to do that with these older tractors. They don't handle constant hydraulic flow very well. So what we do is we'll unfold it and then get out and lock that knob so that the wings can't flex up to keep constant downforce across the entire disc. Now what you want to do unfolding this the first time of the year is you want to lower it down and then unfold it. Those fold cylinders can get air in them over the winter. And when you get those wings past 12 o'clock, they'll just crash right down onto the ground and usually end up busting the hydraulic cylinder mount off. And then you spend about 2 hours it takes to get it back into place and fab back up. So just a quick tip. That way you can save a lot of time. By the way, I've done that twice now, I think, where it busts the hydraulic cylinder off. Now it's down like this. I know they're not going to come slamming down. We're going to lift the disc back up. That way we don't put any unnecessary torque on those gangs. That's enough. Just get them off the ground and then we're going to unfold the rest of the way. Now I got most of the wheels lifted all the way up. I don't know why this one didn't go up. I may have just had to cycle it longer, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to check all the wheel bearings. We got a couple flat tires on the inside, but a couple of those tires are looking pretty bald. Now, if it was 5 or 6 years ago, we would say just roll with them, air them up and go, but now we are traveling farther than we used to and we're on paved and main roads. We don't want a tire blowing going down the road, so we may, I'll talk to Dad, try and replace, it looks like there's 3 pretty rough looking tires on this. We may get new ones and replace them just so we don't have a headache on the road. We're blocking traffic, stuff like that. So I had deja vu pulling this up because I remember looking back on the last field and seeing a wobbly wheel. So I'm going to go through and check all of them. And that is all minor. The major thing we are doing is we are replacing this tube. This is the main frame for the gang, and what happens is over time these slowly bend back from right at this point here. What John Deere and every other disc manufacturer should have done is they should have ran a main frame from here up to the front and tied it in, because this is just way too much real estate sticking out. This gang takes the most abuse out of all of them, this and the one over there, because this one sticks out the farthest. It's the easiest to hook on a tree or rocks, big rocks on the edge of the field and stuff like that. It just happens quite frequently. So this is bent. The constant stress on this shaft, there's a shaft running from this end all the way to here. What happens is with that stress in the middle of the shaft, this shaft does break. And the last thing to look for is any broken cleaners. There's a couple that the rods are missing or broke, and a couple where just the bottom is missing, so that one's loose. So we'll get those taken care of. I did forget another machine. We will be going through the packer and the crumbler. Depending on weather conditions, we'll either pull a rolling harrow behind this or a packer, because you don't want to pack the ground when it's wet, because then it'll dry, yeah, it'll dry out and it'll turn into just a layer of concrete that the seedlings will not be able to penetrate. All right, so got bad news off the phone with Deere. That frame is obsolete. So means we're gonna go the tedious route of having to custom build one. Gonna probably end up taking the whole thing off and then taking it to Alro Steel, getting the tube. I'm not gonna try and rebuild that hinge. We will probably end up cutting it off and trying to weld it on the new one. But that one right there needs to be, we'll try tightening it up first, just because I want to save money on wheel bearings for now and see if it tightens up. If it doesn't, we'll end up doing that wheel bearing. I don't know if you could tell, it's very subtle, but this cleaner is kind of bent. The rest of them are straight. There's the old one. Gonna go pop the roll pin out and then put this scraper on the new arm and then put the new arm on. Well, we got that frame off. It's in the back of the truck. I'm gonna go drop it off somewhere and then get back. I'll work on that wheel bearing and get the tires off. Probably get some tires ordered too while we're out. And then we got our piece of steel ordered for the disc through Alro. It'll be here, I think, tomorrow. Not here, but we got to go pick it up tomorrow. And this morning I pulled my TO-20 around and started dropping the oil, just going through doing routine maintenance, and there was water in the oil. Kind of surprised, kind of not. I did check the water and the radiator was empty and there was no puddle underneath it. It does leak oil out of the valve, or out of the spark plug holes, out of one or two of them, so that kind of tells me piston seal might be going out. And then now that all the coolant is in the engine oil, that tells me that it probably has a bad head gasket. So can't afford to right now, but once I can, I will get a rebuild kit coming for that. It's like gonna be about 600 bucks. And then when we have time, when the shop's free, we'll pull her in and we'll rebuild that sometime this summer. So I am gonna put new oil in it though, and then pull it around back in the barn. And we're gonna go through and check all the front cleaners on the disc. Obvious one there that needs to be replaced because a stake got welded on there in place of a cleaner, and there might Now the way this disc came from the factory is they came with springs on each cleaner so they could be spring loaded and kind of flex around. I think that backfired a lot because the previous owner just tightened these bolts right down and made them all stiff, but a few of them that still had springs left. So now all we do is we take this spring off and we do tighten this bolt right down and just put it up against the blade, but still give it enough room to have a little bit of a gap.
Alright, well, I got one scraper, but I don't have any more arms. I'm gonna have to order some more. And so I'll run home, place a Shoop order because there was something.
We got the sprayer out here and unfolded. Going through, getting all my nozzles put on that I bought. I bought 2 new nozzles. I'll go over them real quick and show you what I got them for. First new nozzle I got is a 7-stream T-Jet. This is for putting 28 on for wheat or any sort of standing crop. It puts it out in individual streams, and I don't know how far apart the streams are, but it keeps it from burning the crop. And I went with a gray orifice. This is a T-Jet. Reason being, at this point in time, we do not know what we are doing as far as split applications go. We're either going to do 2 passes, 15 gallons on the first pass, 18 gallons on the second pass, or we're going to do a 1 pass of 33 gallons. And if we do 33 gallons, I can spray with this at, I think, 6 to 8 miles an hour. 6, I believe. And then if I do 15 gallons, I can spray upwards of 12 miles an hour. And then these blue air inducted nozzles are what came on it. Those are T-Jets as well. I've been running those with my 15 gallons per acre rate. They work great right up to about 8-ish miles an hour. And then these brown ones are new. They are an XR T-Jet flat fan, and those ones are for spraying higher rate chemicals. Like Liberty's more of a 20 gallon per acre rate, and I believe I can go 10 with those brown ones with the Liberty and keep a good medium boom pressure. Reason being, Liberty is a contact kill, so it's got to land on the plant and it's got to cover a majority of the plant to kill it, whereas something like Roundup, which is 15 gallons per acre, that is systemic. All it's got to do is enter the plant in 1 or 2 places and it will kill the entire plant. So with that, this is going to get folded up, put back in the barn. We're aiming for April 10th to do our first round of 28, or our only round of 28.